Wrestling has more than one royal family. Acknowledge me. And we keep the
What is up, guys? Welcome back to Wrestling Crossroads. As always, I am one half of your dynamic duo, Twisted, alongside Brother Pyro.
What's up, y'all?
And we are talking recap of Fastlane.
All right, before we get into that, something we noticed, the pre-show upload took longer than expected. It ended up posting the day after the event. So we want to apologize to all of you for that delay. We don't exactly know what happened. We'll just chalk it up to technical difficulties.
Yeah.
We'll be better about paying attention to that kind of stuff in the future, though. With that being said, I think we should get right into it. Go ahead and start us off.
All right. So, WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships on the line. Judgment Day's Damian Priest and Finn Balor defend against the team of Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. This match, for what it was really good. I liked that the Judgment Day did really good at secluding Jey and Cody to their side and not letting a lot of momentum build on the other side. But once they got the momentum under them, they ran with it.
Oh yeah. I love the straight back and forth, the story of you don't, when you fight Judgment Day, you fight all of Judgment Day.
Yes, we did. Obviously see the rest of Judgment Day come out,
get involved,
and per usual, yes, get involved. But picking up the win
via a costly mistake via JD McDonagh.
Yes. Your new tag team champions, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. Now, this is what Cody Rhodes is 7th?
Yes.
7th ever tag team championship with his 6th partner. 5th or 6th partner? 6th partner. So everything's been different, as I think, aside from his brother, where he's won it twice with his brother.
He has also won twice with Ted DiBiase Jr.
Okay. So, yeah. Well, that being said, take us into our
next... But also, I will to give it the grade.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Because you do this to me consistently.
Okay, I at least blank out on what we're supposed to be doing at least once an episode. So there's my early one. So we're good there. I'm just waiting for the time where you call one and then I go, oh yeah, you want to take us into the next one? Let's just hope that doesn't happen because there's only 5 matches on this card.
Yeah, that's right. But giving it the grade that I did was a B+. Overall, a good match. The ending did not make sense. I do not agree with the booking decision of making Cody and Jey a first-time tag team in their first tag team match, might I add. Your new tag team champions. I don't agree with the decision to take the straps off of Judgment Day as quickly as they did. There was a lot more to this that you could have played into, that you could have played out. You could have dragged this a lot longer. Timing just wasn't
timing
there.
To you didn't really work. No. So I mean, I understand that totally, and unfortunately for us, we don't work for WWE, so we can't really say much.
Thanks.
All right, take us into our next one, which I know you have a lot to say on.
Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits taking on LWO's Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar. Let's talk about the fact that it was
partner at first.
Let's talk about the fact that it was majority of the time 2v3 handicap match. Lashley and the Profits capitalizing on that, really asserting their dominance throughout the match. Moving into the closing segments, because there wasn't a lot to this match.
No, it was actually a fairly quick match.
Carlito's music hit. He comes in, looks like $1 million, picks up the win for LWO. Again, another decision I did not agree with.
Yeah. I wish he would have been there throughout the whole thing if he was going to be there. But having him literally come in, do what, like 2 moves, and having Ray and Santos Escobar do everything else really just sucked, and I didn't see the point to it.
Honestly, and I think it just, you're trying to build the Profits and Lashley as this new stable, this new faction. You're trying to build them to be these badasses, dominant guys, and I think you're doing the polar opposite in having what happened happen.
Yeah.
And for that, I gave this match a C.
Personally, because of the booking decision and Carlito coming in late, and I don't like to necessarily disagree or pick at your grades, I would go lower. Personally.
Carlito coming back is why it got as high as it did.
And if Carlito hadn't come back, what would it have gotten?
It probably would have been like a C- D+.
Okay.
Let's, because I promise you by the time Friday rolls around and we see the aftermath, I'm gonna forget that the match had even happened.
I already forgot the match even happened. I had to ask you what the second match was on the card.
You right?
When I was retyping this. So
Yes.
yeah.
So
all right. Jumping into our next match, we have our WWE Women's Championship. Io Sky defends against Asuka and Charlotte. Now, a lot of people are saying, and me and you have agreed to this, that this was her biggest testament to date for her title.
this 100% was her biggest bout for
There wasn't
as champion.
There wasn't much build
No.
or much hype to this, but this was her biggest testament. These are 2 women who have done it all and been it all. You have a 14-time champion in Charlotte Flair, and
also
you have.
a Grand Slam.
Well, I was getting there if you would have let me finish.
Sorry.
But since you pointed that out, I don't have to. And then you have the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion in history at 510 days in Asuka. Just dominant women. Women that know that
this isn't
you need
their
to
first
have
rodeo.
what it takes to be at the top. And Io Sky, really came and showed and proved, a lot in this match.
She definitely did show she can hang with the best of them.
Mhm.
I would personally like to see her be a little bit more battle tested.
I'd like to see her be able to, going into bits of this match, originally she told Bayley to stay in the back, but Bayley ended up coming out and helping her in the closing moments of this match. Yes, retain her title. So the winner of that match, Io Sky. But I gotta say, I would rather have it, and again, great heel tactics, but I'd rather have it where you can see Sky defend on her own, because then that's a bigger testament to her title.
For
right?
what, her second title defense?
Mm-hmm.
I think it did well. This isn't necessarily like she wasn't trying. I think that's what she set out to do, was I can do this on my own. Hence why, hey Bayley, I don't need you out there tonight.
Yeah.
Stay in the back. Bayley being Bayley, just not wanting to listen, not wanting to have faith in her teammate, decides, screw you, I'm coming out anyway. Sorry.
I mean, I get that, and I do.
Granted, I'm pretty sure Io is probably thanking her, because I think without Bayley, she definitely would have
lost that championship.
Probably would have taken that L, because if she wouldn't have distracted the ref when she did, your new champion wouldn't be Asuka, it'd be Charlotte.
No, I was going to say Asuka was, when Asuka was tapping.
Yes.
Yeah.
Charlotte would be a 15-time women's champion right now.
I mean, I agree with that, but you said you want to see her more battle tested. I'd like to see her, if she's going up against women of this caliber, I'd like to see her do it on her own so she can prove that she deserves to have this championship.
And again, that's what she wanted to do. That's what she was trying to do. It is not her fault Bayley decided to interfere anyway. It's not like she called for the help. She specifically stated the polar opposite. I don't want your help. I don't need your help. I can do this.
Yeah.
I got this.
Well, regardless of it, Bayley interfered, and we got the distraction via the ref. Otherwise, Charlotte Flair would be a 15-time champion. And to be honest, I said it when we were watching this match, I would have taken Io or Charlotte. I just personally, any of Asuka's title reigns have been super boring since coming up to the main roster. So I don't want her to have the title. I don't see any point in it. They just make it super boring. They're slowly doing it with EOs, and I wish they wouldn't.
Yeah, they do tend to drag.
So, all right, next one. I did it again, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. This one's yours.
No?
I just did this one.
Hey.
Grade.
Yeah.
Okay, grade.
B-.
It's because I don't have it on my screen. That's why.
That's your fault.
That's
your fault. You, when retyping, you should have left the spot to remind you, hey, grade.
Yeah.
That's
Shush it.
what you do for all the other ones.
So B-.
This is your fault. Yes.
B-.
It didn't really get good until the end.
No, it didn't.
Like, I hate to say it about these three women. This match kind of dragged.
It's one of those I would say was a very slow match. I mean, when a match puts Baby Crossroads to sleep, you know it's
yeah, that's impressive. That is actually really impressive.
Yeah.
I didn't stop to think about Baby Crossroads really did fall asleep like
mid-match,
2 minutes into the match,
mm-hmm.
and didn't wake up until it was over.
He watched the entrances. Baby Crossroads loves his wrestling.
Watched the bell ring. Watched the first couple moves and then was out.
Yep, out like a light. Didn't wake up until pretty much the main event.
Yeah.
At that point.
And he's also tired. But all right, going into the second to last match on our card, mm-hmm. Jimmy Uso teaming with Solo Sikoa to take on John Cena and L.A. Knight. Yeah. Love it when we do this. In what was, I'm not gonna lie, a very mediocre match.
Yeah.
The biggest story not coming from inside the ring.
Coming from outside. Actually.
Coming from outside. Never did I think we'd see the day that Paul Heyman wasn't rocking his signature ponytail and went full gray. This tells you without his tribal chief present and with the antics of Jimmy Uso, this man is stressed to all hell.
Yes.
But also him giving the play-by-play to Roman over the phone was absolutely hilarious.
That really told a story there.
I loved every second of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, never did I think WWE would go that as far as to let that happen. Because you figure, it's going to be a distraction.
Yeah.
It's going to take away. It didn't really take away. It helped emphasize the story that was this match.
Yeah. It helped emphasize, and it really, you heard it a lot in commentary. It really begged the question, what happens if Jimmy and Solo lose?
Well, if the answer to that question, because they did take an L, we're going to have to wait and see what happens this Friday on SmackDown. Mm-hmm. With the return of the Tribal Chief.
Yes, sir.
Because he's already pissed off. He's pissed off. We're going to figure out how, because, he's always angry. He's always angry about something, like I told Hex in getting her predictions. And she said, he's going to be pissed off and it's going to give him something. I was like, no, he's always pissed off. It's a matter of to what degree.
Mm-hmm. To what degree are we pissed off at this time?
Yes. And I'm going to love every second of it.
All right. You're great on this one. See, I didn't forget.
This time.
Shut up.
C+.
C+. Wow, that's generous.
That was generous. It was a short match. It told the story that it needed to. And
the only entertaining thing on the outside was Paul Heyman. The only entertaining thing about this entire match was Paul Heyman.
And you let the young guys get the shine. Because, let's be real, if it had been a Vince McMahon booking, it would have been Cena picking up the win. If they would have picked up the win.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, because that's his guy. But LA Knight picked up the win.
But they let LA Knight have the moment.
With his blunt force trauma.
Blunt force trauma.
Blunt, blood, whatever. B.
And
FT.
And going into after the show, before we get into the main event,
mm-hmm.
the press conference.
Yes, you want
The press conference, Cena, LA Knight. We got a lot out of that. I do love that Cena kind of you can tell Cena kind of was irritated that all of the questions were more or less asked to him. Like those reporters showed LA Knight almost no love. So him like, yo, let's
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 end
get
out
in a
this with him.
couple questions. And again Cena being asked, oh, if when the writer strike ends, do we lose you? And him just
Yeah.
like, yeah, because I cannot do both. I was already mid project when the strike started. I gotta go back and finish that, whatever. He's like, but let's not talk about that right now. Let's, focus on what we're doing now. And then, right before the last question, he's like, does anybody have a question for LA Knight? Like,
He's here too.
pretty much, hey, he's here too. Get him involved, please and thank you. And then walked away.
Yeah.
Like, he completely got up, walked away from the table.
He's like, all right, I'm out.
I love that Cena's putting over the young talent, or the newer talent, because LA Knight isn't necessarily a young guy.
He's up in age.
But still, him being him, using his platform, using his likeness, using himself to, get over the newer guy.
These newer guys ish over.
Some kind of shine.
That's one thing that Cena's always been really good at.
Well, he said it. LA Knight has earned his respect. I love that one of the questions was, oh, do we see a tag title run in your future? And their reactions, well, we are 1-0, so we do have the winning streak going for us. So, never say never.
I wouldn't mind it. It's a chance to get Cena in for a little longer. I mean, I love John Cena, especially. But I know that he's kind of getting up there in years, and there's not going to be much more that he can do.
He's already said it. He doesn't know when his last match will be, when his last appearance will be, but he knows it's coming. I also do love that they focused, when asking him one of the questions, they did focus on his feud with The Rock some years ago. And how the whole reason he didn't like, or that he felt no real respect for The Rock is because, he left for Hollywood, he abandoned whatever. And they asked Cena, how he felt about that, and he's like, look, I was mad that me being the Rock fan that I am, I wanted to get him back in any way that I could. I was upset that, I felt like he did abandon what was home, what he calls home. But I went about it the wrong way. I ate my words. I ate crow. We met up. I apologized. Whatever. We had our conversation,
and he understands now.
And now he understands why and how The Rock has been in and out and moved the way he has since making the Hollywood jump.
Yeah,
because he said it. It's not easy.
He did it himself,
and because now that he's doing it himself, he realizes, oh snap. Maybe he had a point in, hey, I have to pick one or the other for this time.
All right, our main event, World Heavyweight Championship, Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura in a last man standing match. This was chaotic to say the least. This went all around the arena. And it really, again, showcased the injury that Seth Rollins has.
Oh, yeah.
Shinsuke really pinpointed into that injury, really showed it off. And, I mean, I don't know. There was, we got to see close calls. I mean, everything outside of the ring was almost a 9. It was an entire 9 count. Oh. Almost 10 count. These men put each other to the limits. And I'd honestly love to see it again, but I know that we are no longer seeing Shinsuke Seth.
Shinsuke definitely has lost all viability as a competitor for the world title at this point.
So, retaining his championship, Seth Rollins beat the 10 count. Shinsuke Nakamura did not.
All right.
You were saying in your...
So, I'm going to go ahead and give it the grade, so that way I can get into what I was going to say.
Okay.
The the grade to the match was a B. It would have been an A level. It was an A level match. However,
The ending.
the ending and the fact that they haven't pulled the trigger on Shinsuke, and also there are two moments where he definitely should. Shinsuke definitely should have walked out of Fastlane.
Okay,
World
and
champion.
those were?
The mist through the table to then go through the table.
Yes.
And the low blow while they were in the crowd. The low blow and push off the rafter.
Those were definitely two.
Though it was one of those moments that you should have realized, hey, pull the trigger. Nakamura walks away because you just killed one of your biggest talents.
At this point,
the booking decision wasn't correct.
At this point, if he gets released or asks for a leave,
nobody's going to blame him.
No, I was going to say, where does he go?
Go back to Japan. You go back to Japan.
Okay.
Whether it be Pro Wrestling Noah, whether it be All Japan or New Japan. He goes back to Japan.
Okay.
100%. And again, if he were to ask for his release due to frustration or whatever it may be, I don't think any fan is actually going to fault him at this point.
I wouldn't either.
Because I'm surprised he
stuck around as long as he did, especially after the whole AJ Styles thing.
Or, the storyline with Roman.
Yeah.
Like, you had so many opportunities there for him, and the man hasn't achieved main roster success the way he did in NXT, and it is really sad to see.
It is. I mean, he was a great NXT champion. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. I loved watching him. I remember the first time that he won the title, I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was at a takeover, correct?
Yes.
I was watching that same takeover with my friend Misty, and she absolutely loves, she had just gotten into a lot of like Japanese wrestlers and Korean stars here and there, and she wanted to watch it specifically at the moment for Asuka, actually. And when we saw Shinsuke, I told her the name. I helped her pronounce it for a minute, and then she absolutely loved watching his work, and she was so excited when he won the title.
All right, so he won his first.
Mm-hmm.
The first time he won
the
NXT title.
Yes.
August 20th, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn Part 2.
Okay.
His opponent.
Yes.
Samoa Joe.
Yes, I remember that. Like I said, Misty, we watched that match. She absolutely loved it. And she specifically wanted to watch it. I didn't even know she had paid attention to NXT, but she had heard about Asuka, had watched a couple things on Asuka, and she wanted to watch it specifically for that. But we ended up seeing Shinsuke, and she just went crazy. She loved it.
Oh, it was great.
So for her, who's, she's not a really big wrestling fan, but for her to come to me, who is a big wrestling fan, and say, hey, I want to watch this, it was something that made me very, very happy.
Oh, I bet.
So that does conclude the end of Fastlane. Pyro, when do we see them next?
November.
Ooh. November?
What is the next one?
November?
Crown Jewel, November 4th.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to think about it for a minute because we have a lot going on in November because we have Crown Jewel.
Uh-huh.
Then we have Full Gear.
Mm-hmm.
That one's going to be weird because it's a AEW show on a Saturday. And then we have Survivor Series right after. So we do have a lot going on.
All right. Well,
in November, so I had to think like, all right, where are we at?
Where's the next pinpoint? Well, we will see you guys for Crown Jewel. we will have our recap and our pre-show and our recap out for that. And hopefully, like Pyro said in the beginning, we will be watching to make sure that everything is uploading properly.
Yeah.
Again, we do apologize. If you guys follow us on Twitter, we did make a statement about it. But technical difficulties happen all the time. It's neither here nor there on our fault, but we will be better at double checking and making more consistency to double check on that on both of our parts.
Yeah.
So we will see you guys then. Y'all enjoy.
All right, later.